What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and as I reported to you all in my last video, the Idaho 4 Moscow murder suspect has been caught, and he is in custody. Now, at the time of that video, I did not have his name or mugshot yet because it had not been released at the time of that recording, but now we do have a name. It is Bryan Christopher Kohberger, and this is his mugshot right here. I want you all to take a long, hard look at this mugshot. Obviously, you can see that he has a smock on. Look at the face. Hyper focus on his eyes. I don't know about you all, but I get a really chilling feeling when I look at this dude. Something is off and weird about this dude. Obviously, I maybe feel that way because he's accused of doing these heinous crimes. Yeah, of course. But I can't help but feel that there may be something more here. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I just hope that the authorities are looking into this dude extensively, because I would like to know if they could tie him to any other crimes. And the reason I say this is because this is a really interesting, weird situation. And I say that all the time, but this dude was like a graduate student who was studying criminology. So he was studying how the criminal mind works and things of that nature. And it almost made him, I don't know how to put it, but I don't know if that gave him a confidence, a certain level of confidence that he would get away with this. And he actually has a creepy little post that I was able to dig up. And we're going to go through that post in just a moment. But first, just look at this dude. He's supposedly 28 years old. Now, I'm not trying to make fun of his appearance, but this does not look like a 28-year-old man to me. If you told me that this was a 48-year-old man, I would believe you. But I swear, sometimes evilness and wickedness, it has a way of twisting the way you look. Look at all the people who have committed these crazy crimes. Most of them look really weird. Am I right? Is that a coincidence? Do ugly people commit crimes? Or does hate and evil thoughts, those thoughts that creep into these people's minds, does that corrupt them and corrupt their outward appearance as well? I think that's an interesting question. But let's go ahead and hop right into this post that I think he left on Reddit. This comes from a criminology student. Research participation needed. Hello, my name is Bryan, and I am inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. In particular, this study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense, with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. In the event that your most recent offense was not one that led to a conviction, you may still participate. Additional surveys are included after the open-ended section as to best understand your unique traits. The study should take about 15 to 20 minutes to complete. Your identity and all answers provided are completely confidential, and the link to survey is also an anonymous link. This research has been approved by the DeSales University, IRB. Participants must be 18 years of age and older. If you opt in to participate, you may terminate your participation at any time for any reason. If you have any questions about this research, you may contact the research team via email. Now, the reason this sticks out to me, well, I guess it's obvious, but it's like this dude had an interest in figuring out how criminal minds worked. And I don't think he had an interest in finding that stuff out because he wanted to know how other people worked. Maybe he wanted to know how he worked, how his mind worked. I don't think that you just wake up one day and decide to go on this rampage that he went on. I feel like this was something that was premeditated and planned, something that he was dealing with in his mind for a while. And I can guarantee you that the reason he got into this field when he went to college was because he was already harboring these dark thoughts. I believe that the reason he studied criminology was so he could become a better criminal, so he could get away with his crimes. Is that a fact? No. That's speculation. This is my opinion, but I don't think it's too far-fetched. It's definitely not as far-fetched as all the stuff people have been throwing out there. And just this morning, since the suspect has been in custody, I've already seen the usual suspects on YouTube sharing fake photos and throwing accusations at the wrong people already. If you haven't got the clue yet, you need to stop following up with some of these true crime YouTubers because they do nothing but spread hate and misinformation. I want to ask you one question here. Out of every single video you watched on YouTube about these Moscow murders for the last month and some change, all of the hours, minutes, and days you spent of your life looking into this case, did you see one person named Bryan as a suspect? Did you see one person that even knew Bryan existed? No, you didn't. But you saw accusations thrown at people all over the place. Accusations thrown left and right. At one point, they even said the father of one of the girls killed in that house was the person who did it. It's gotten terrible. And that's why I chose not to cover this story. I didn't cover this story at all. I knew what would happen here. And now I'm here because the case is possibly solved. And now I'm interested in talking about the facts, because what people have been going over, not all, there are some great true crime YouTubers out there, but what a lot of people have been going over for the past month is a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS, and it keeps you wrapped up in this little wormhole of like you're like a gerbil going through this wheel of false information. But now we know who the suspect is. We know that not a single person named this suspect. No one knew this guy existed. And I want to look at his photos. You know, he doesn't seem to me like a very strong looking dude, if that makes sense. But sometimes these freakos, man, they have this inner strength that you may not know of. When I think of it, I think of Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was someone who worked on his physique a lot. He worked on his strength to make it, to make him a better criminal, to make sure that he could manhandle and hold down the people who he did things to. But from the outside looking in, you would look at him and think that he wasn't a threat. You wouldn't think nothing of him. This guy as well. You would see him on the street. You may think he looked weird and creepy, but I don't think you would find him as a physical threat. So how he was able to kill these 4 people, I don't know. Of course, we believe they were sleeping. Those are details that I'm really stumped about. I want to know if this guy knew these people. He doesn't look to me like someone who would have been hanging out with them. I think what's going to be really interesting over the coming days is trying to figure out if this dude has been posting online throughout this whole situation, because we've already found one Reddit post from him from when he was in school, conducting those surveys or whatever, doing tests on people, trying to find out how the human brain works. Kind of creepy, right? I wonder if this dude has been interacting on Reddit or on social media this entire time. I wonder how they found him. Obviously, I'm assuming maybe the white Elantra led them to this guy. There's all types of details that are slowly going to be coming out. There's a press conference later that we will be watching. I'm not going to be streaming it here on my channel, but I'll give you an update of what information comes out of there. And I believe Grizzly True Crime and Iked Mel and other people, there will be people streaming the press conference for sure. But I'm really interested in what's going on here. And I know I could take a totally non-biased approach because I didn't enter into this madness until today. I sat back and I just watched as slowly as certain details came out. But I don't know. I believe that by the time you watch this video, we will probably already know more. Understand that it takes YouTube time to upload a video. So by the time you're watching this, we may have other key pieces of information. But for now, we know the guy's name. We know what he looks like. We have the mugshot. And now it's just time for the other pieces of the puzzle to start falling into place. Let me know your thoughts though down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I will talk to you all in the next video.